good morning, world. We are back up in here. It's Tuesday, May 3rd. It's already May. So we up in here real quick. Hey man, play my theme music. Yes. We are in the building. It's your boy CB, aka the Rude Educator. We are here on WETF for the I Just Got Off Work show. Again, it is May 3rd. It's about 6:39 in the morning. I just got off work. So what's the word? Hey, let me tell you something. I'm always I'm always saying, hey, let me tell you something. But let me tell you something. Uh it was a hell of a weekend, all right? This is uh this is hard work doing the show in the morning. So I apologize if you maybe came looking for the show and it wasn't here for you. Cause I always said I'll be there for you. But anyway, I'm getting told that I'm too loud. Anyway, over the weekend did a couple of things besides just watch the playoffs. We went out to the winery uh, up in Westfield, uh, Urban Urban Vines, whatever it was called. Had a good time. Did a tasting, bought a couple of bottles. Uh, that's weird. But all right, I assume everybody can hear me. I got my meters metering and my computer's puting. So we should be good to go at this point. Like I said though, over the weekend we was out at the winery and we definitely had a good time with the tasting. We had a good time. You know what I'm saying? Drinking some of that peach wine Rita, and then after about the time we should have been ready to go anyway. We ate our little appetizers, drank a little wine. Started raining, so it was time to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Came back to the crib, had the tent set up, watched some movies in the tent. It was a nice full Saturday, and I gotta say, between the son's birthday on Friday, going to Benihana's, and going to the winery the next day, chilling and then chilling in the movie tent. It was a good weekend. And I ain't even mind going to work Sunday night. It was like, yo, CB, you went to work Sunday night? Why didn't you do a show when you got off? because I was tired. But that ain't the point. The point is, we here today. Like I said, it's Tuesday, May 3rd. It's election day. So if you are registered to vote, make sure you get out there and make your vote count. I know people be like, yeah, I don't voting in, whatever. Hey, if it don't mean nothing, then it don't mean nothing. But go do it just in case it do. That's the way I look at it anyway. And then you never know, you might have some people that's candidates and they really, really on what you on. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the local elections. That's really what I'm, talking about. Local elections. It's always my thing. You can go talk to them people. You can go knock on their door. You can hit them up with a text message and they're gonna hit you back. That's the kind of official I like to vote for. But, that's a little bit of politics. Just main thing is go make your vote count. That's the thing. It's May 3rd. And we got a lot of offices up there for re-election, and got to go out there and make that thing happen. We are here, WTF, with the I Just Got Off Work show. Hey, by the way, you can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. Send me emails to my Gmail, therooteducator@gmail.com. And I will definitely get it back to you because I am definitely for the people. We were out Saturday. We were out at the Public Safety Job Fair. That went down pretty nice. If you look for a job, go to indy.gov/jobs. Any type of government job. Hey, the thing about government job is you work for the government, you ain't got to worry about getting shut down until you do. But that's a whole nother story, too. Get out there, you know what I'm saying? Get to work. Let's do it. Things that went on for the weekend. Now, if you're a fan of the show Ozark, the last part just dropped Friday. I'm working my way through the episodes. I said I was going to try to binge. I just did not have enough time to get to every episode. But so far, so good. Got about 3 episodes left, and they're sizing up. It looks like they setting up a nice ending to the whole series. We'll see. Also, Better Call Saul is back on AMC. I think they showing new episodes on AMC Plus. I don't think they on regular AMC no more. Maybe they are. Y'all let me know. But Better Call Saul, that's wrapping up in its final season as well. And then what else we got? I told y'all about the Rerun the City show on HBO. That one there is gonna be raw, just like its predecessors with The Wire, and before that, The Corner. David Simon and that whole crew, they come through and they make Baltimore look real. They make their shows look real Baltimore. Somebody that been going to Baltimore my whole life, I can definitely say that Baltimore is depicted very well on those shows. Yeah, can't nobody stand Wendy. Wendy, he'll put it like this: Wendy is the worst, okay? And that's just the bottom line with Ozark. Like, Wendy is the worst. I think they write her that way. They make it to where people hate her, and she does a great job of delivering a hate-worthy performance every time. So, you're not the first person I heard say that. There's a lot of people that say that they can't stand Wendy, and it's the reason why. People kind of root for Marty because they appreciate his, gift the gab. They appreciate how nice he is to everybody. Probably too nice a lot of the time. But people hate Wendy. I think people hate Wendy also because they like Marty so much. And they see the way that she do Marty. And it just make them hate her even more. So, yes, Wendy hate is widely accepted. And please send in your I Hate Wendy fan mail to therooteducator@gmail.com. We'll read all of it. I'm here for all the Wendy hate. Other things going on in the entertainment world this weekend. Of course, you got the Met Gala that went down last night. The Met Gala is always a place where the red carpet is basically the event. I asked the question: is what else do they do at the Met Gala? And I know there's ways to find out, but I was trying to ask the people if they know. And because all I ever see is the red carpet appearances. People flex with they, designer outfits. It'll be a dress or suit, whatever the case is. And they come out and they flex real hard. And all you see is pictures of the red carpet. I'm pretty sure it's like a charity event of some sort. Maybe. I'm not sure still. But people come out for it. They dress real nice. And everybody talk about what they had on. I'm pretty sure this is like a social media age event, or at least to the point where it is now. I'm not sure how much of that was actually covered, back in the day. I definitely wasn't paying attention to it. But, social media these days, all the latest celebrities be in attendance and dressed to whatever the theme is for that year. I can't show a whole lot of media because YouTube flagged my videos for that. But if you're around, some of the ones that was talked about. They talked about what Kim had on, Kim Kardashian. They talked about what Beyonce had on, of course. They talked about Cardi B because they put a whole statue up of Cardi B. Not Cardi B, Rihanna. Somebody gonna kill me for that, for saying that, making that mistake. But yeah, they made a statue of Rihanna with the pregnant belly, and they put it up in the Met. And it's just one of those. Like I said, it's just one of those events that they, yearly. I don't think they did it last year, the year before that, because of the pandemic. But they back this year, and I know one of the most iconic outfits that was at the Met. They re-brought back up last night, and I gotta mention it, is the Chadwick Boseman Versace he basically had on like a priest hood, with the all white, with the black lace and all that. That was definitely one of the most noticeable because for one, the guys usually just wear tuxes, and it's all about the women and their dresses and their gowns, whatever you want to call it. But that particular year, the thing was like a religious type thing, and he came out with the robe and the whole thing, and it was nice. Saying everybody was feeling it, and that's how you want to come if you want to do an event like that, right? You want everybody to be talking about it years later. And Chadwick Boseman definitely, he knew the assignment, and he carried it out very well. So, what I'm saying, I ain't not trying to, hey, gotta respect Chadwick though. So anyway, that was the Met Gala, went down last night, and that was all good. So, still talking about TV and everything. That Atlanta episode from last Thursday, I ain't have a chance to talk about it. Man, that was wild in a number of ways. See, I like Atlanta because the way that it's written, you could definitely, see that scenario happening in real life, and then they make it outlandish. And I mean, like, there wasn't anything necessarily out of the ordinary about any of it. Like, it's always some kind of, person out of the black diaspora. I think I pronounced that right this time. Damn it, I did it. It's diaspora. Anyway, having a foreign nanny is something that particular class of people felt like, for a long time, it's like a status symbol. Like, yeah, we got a maid from we got a nanny from this country, and we're gonna teach our baby whatever language their native tongue is, and they wear it as like a badge of honor. But then in this particular situation, the nanny died, and so the child is still young. The nanny died, and now they having to deal with all these different dynamics. And the thing that became evident as you kept watching the episode is the fact that this woman, this foreign nanny, has such a big impact on this child's life, and you can't underestimate that. And you can see it really well when they went into the neighborhood for the service, and the kid was able to communicate. He was talking about things that he had been taught by his nanny, and all of that is kind of it's I don't think it's the intended goal of that trend, but it's something good that comes out of something like that, because it could definitely it could definitely go another way. But when you got good people, you can't stop good people. And so the nanny was obviously a good woman. I can't remember the name, but she was from Trinidad and Tobago, because that was the name of the episode. It's So Trini. And from the song that she would play for him at bedtime to the food that he would eat, you could see the influence that she had on his life, even early on. And then even at the service, they had showed another one of her kids that she cared for as a nanny, but he was grown. And they were even asking him, like, "Are you from Trinidad?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm from Tribeca." Like, I am a product of her, child rearing, and this is where your son is headed, actually. Yeah, exactly. Like, the little kid knew how to, when he was in the Trinidad church. He knew, how to pray the way that they did and everything, because he was taught by his nanny. And, the other side of that, and it's also hits, it's a very realistic part of it, is the fact that one of her daughters got up and said how they missed their mother because she was out taking care of these other kids. And that was just the reality of her occupation. Like, she's a nanny, and she spends a lot of time with these other kids. Meanwhile, her kids, who long for her presence as well, probably even more so because that's her actual flesh and blood, they end up getting the short end of the stick, so to speak. She's working hard for them to provide, the things that they need. But, one of the other things that they need is the presence of their mother. And so that one daughter that did get up and speak her mind on that, she did have a point. And I think that that's just, like I said, that's the reality of that type of occupation, is that you give all of your, you doing your work with these kids that don't belong to you. Meanwhile, the kids that do, they suffer for your presence. So, like I said, it's a very, Atlanta's a very smart show. It's done well. And I think that episode hit on a lot of things, that come from the black experience. It's just, I think it's funny that they start those kinds of episodes off with the white people that's going to be playing those particular parts. But then as you go through the episodes, you realize, this still is an episode of, this is still a show about the black experience. But sometimes you have to have white actors involved in that to really, show what that is. So again, I think that Atlanta's a very smart show. It's sad to, think that they may not be doing it anymore. I think after this season, they may think about it, but it's just like a lot. I mean, when you think about, one of the reasons they probably doing it this way this season is because the cast members are so busy with their movie star lives. Like they are all movie stars, not even, small ones, like big movies, Marvel movies, just, big box office hits, critical acclaim hits. And so, doing the little basic cable TV show or whatever don't mean as much, even though it's a great show. So that's my love note to Atlanta this week. I am definitely looking forward to the next episode. Hopefully I get a chance to talk about it and all its greatness. It's been a good season so far. I like the way that they flip from, first they do something that's more about the bigger world, a little bit more meaningful, but then they come back and tell us how our heroes are doing as well. So it's a very good, again, it's a smart way to do a show, especially when everybody's got a busy schedule. So, hey, look, you know how I am. It's about 7:00. I came in and I talked about TV so much. So let me talk about basketball, NBA basketball, because that's all I know. I'm not real clear on the college teams. I'm not real clear on NFL teams, but when it comes to that NBA, I got a surface level understanding. So anyway, let me talk about the playoff games that came on over the weekend. I ain't gonna talk about those game sixes, even though there was some pretty good games in there. I want to talk about the second round of games that we got going right now, because Sunday Milwaukee played Boston, right, and then right after that you had Memphis play Golden State. Now, the way that Boston handled New Jersey in that sweep, you would think that they would give Milwaukee a run for their money, especially with Chris Middleton missing. But that didn't happen. In fact, Milwaukee ran Boston so bad, they talking about Milwaukee about to sweep Boston if they don't do anything. Your best two players became non-existent in the presence of Giannis Antetokounmpo. The man scored a triple double, and he fucked around, got a triple double, and everybody said, "Oh, that ain't even his best game." He was that was actually like a bad game for him. You are a very, very dangerous player when you go out there and do something that most people can't do. All right, let's just face it. Most people can't go out there in the second round of playoffs and score a triple double. The list of active players that can do that is about, dare I say, about 4, maybe 5 people long. That's a very short list. All right, and I mean, in the second round, it's even shorter. So I don't know. There's a couple of names that come to mind, But most of those guys sitting at home right now. Giannis just did it, just game one right off top. Let's send these numbers home, and it happened just like that. So Boston needs to worry. Now on the flip side, the Golden State Memphis game was much more competitive. It went back and forth several times. You kind of had somewhat of a trading of, the guards there between Steph and Ja. The stuff that Steph does, people have been amazed by for years. But here you got Ja. What is he in? His third year now? Yes, third year. And I get the feeling that Ja is capturing people's emotions in the same way. Not playing the same way, but the same way that Steph captured people's attention, early on. That's what Ja's doing now. And they're both competitors. Ja, there's one instance where Ja basically called Steph out like, I'm going at him, and Steph handled that shit and left Ja defeated. Like the dramatic way that Ja stood under that basket after missing that potentially game-winning shot. He ended up missing it, and they lost the game. He's standing there like never again. So when you're on the other end of a guy with that type of determination, and he's sitting there, and all he's been thinking about since that buzzer rang Sunday is how they're going to get back at him tonight. And if I was, the Warriors, I would be definitely worried about Ja and his guys. See, this is the thing about the Memphis Grizzlies. They like a young, I don't want to say gang, but they like a young squad that be out, they out there, and they in a way, in a lot of ways, they trying to prove themselves. They trying to prove that they belong there. I mean, they did end up with the second seed in the West, and that second seed in the West was the second best in the league. So Golden State was at third. They was number 2 most of the season. But while everybody was watching Steph hit 3-pointers, Memphis was winning games, and they came up and they swooped that second seed away. Now, we ain't even talked about Phoenix and what they're going to do with Dallas yet. But it does look like, and this is getting into last night's game, it does look like Phoenix handled Dallas in that first game. With that being the case, if they can continue that trend, they will see themselves in the conference finals. The only problem is the two teams that they got to go against are not BS teams. I'm not saying Dallas is a BS team. What I'm saying is Dallas don't have the kind of experience that Golden State has, and they don't have. They got Luka and they got some younger guys, but I don't feel them being on a mission like Memphis is on a mission. Phoenix was on a mission all season. They got to the postseason, and I think they ran out of gas a little bit, but they seem to be recovering. So I got faith in them making it to the conference finals. The other two teams is up in the air. You cannot get me to bet on any of these games because each game in that 2-3 matchup in the West can go either way. And I mean that. After watching that game Sunday night, I mean that. Them boys going at it. So I look forward to seeing the rest of that series. I look forward to seeing what happens with Miami and Philly too. Only because Embiid may be a little hurt. I feel like you need to sit him down for a second, let him recharge, and maybe bring him back. Otherwise, he ain't gonna have a chance. Even if they make it to the conference finals, he ain't gonna have any kind of chance of doing anything in the conference finals. So what's the point? So it's kind of a tough break, to be honest. But that may be a lesson that needed to be learned this year, so that maybe you come through and you make some noise next year. You don't just go away. You just added Harden. He may have another year or two to play in Philly. I don't know, though. Harden seems a little bit done with it. Westbrook, same category. And please do not send Westbrook to Philly. Don't try that again. Don't send Westbrook to Brooklyn to try to match up with some of his OKC. Those days are over. If you're going to send Westbrook somewhere, send him somewhere where he doesn't really matter. Like, I don't know, Orlando or New York, maybe. I don't know where you send Westbrook. But please, don't try to reunite him with Durant or reunite him with Harden again. It ain't going to work. So please, just stop that. Now, where you might see Westbrook end up is a little town called Sacramento. And that'll be mad interesting if he ends up there and plays with those young studs that they got in the trade with Indiana. People forgot about that trade, and I'm thinking that they had a reason for making that trade, but it's Sacramento, so I don't even know why I'm talking about Sacramento right now. We're talking about the playoffs. I told you about Giannis. We talked about Miami and Philly. And I ain't even talked about Steph. But I ain't talked that much about Luka. So Luka, he got a little swag. Came to the second round, and he couldn't get his bag. So what he might need to do is go back to the drawing board. Well, I'm sorry to say, it's Phoenix in 4. And, that's all I got to say about that, man. Like, I think Dallas, as good as they have been up and down, they ain't got nothing for Phoenix. In that second, like I said, that second, third seed matchup. Woo! That's the one to watch. Because if Milwaukee keep whooping on Boston like that ain't going to be worth watching. And then I don't know if Philly is going to come with anything against Miami, and that might be a wash. So you might have to wait till the conference final to actually see a good game on the East Coast. On the West, you need to watch the Golden State Warriors battle with the Memphis Grizzlies. That's where it's at for me. But, we'll keep watching, keep seeing what's happening. I'm going to be watching. That's for sure. Hey, man, it's about 7:13. We're winding on down here On the I Just Got Off Work show on WETF. I am your host, CB, aka the Rude Educator. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can send me an email. I got a Gmail, the rudeeducator@gmail.com. Hit me up on any of those. I'm going to get right back at you. But you know what else you can do? You can drop a comment right down here or the chat. Wherever your chat is on your screen right now, you should just type in there and say, hey, because I'm here saying what's up. Or whatever you want to say. Because, I only do this because I feel like people want to see it. I know they don't. But I'm just saying, I only do this because somebody somewhere want to see it. And if I don't do it, then nobody can see it, right? So, what I'm going to do it for. Music. New Pusha T. I think I talked about this already with the Pusha T album having the Kanye verse Pharrell version of it. Again, I'm not really feeling that version of it off top because the sequence that they had was top notch. That Brambleton joint starting off the album with that was the best decision ever. That got me right in. You know what I'm saying? That joint goes so hard. So please, I know what y'all trying to do. Kanye versus Pharrell. Yeah. We don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody trying to do that, okay? But I will say this. Somebody said that nigga Kanye been too quiet lately. It ain't right. Because he was making a whole lot of noise. And now we ain't heard from him, for about a week or so. It's like, what's going on? Is he planning a murder? We don't know. I don't know. Let me know what's happening. Maybe y'all know what's happening because it is kind of scary when you think about it. What else going on in music? I really don't know. Jack Harlow was at the game. That was a funny thing that happened. Jack Harlow was in the game. I think he was at the Memphis game. And the refs were talking about, who's Jack Harlow? Because they didn't know. And he caught wind of it, of course, and then he said something about it. Jack Harlow, the worstest kind of rapper. He a dope rapper, but it was funny that the refs didn't have any idea who he was. He like the Kentucky. He like the new. I ain't gonna even say Kentucky. He like the new generation of Eminem, huh? Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here. It's been real this morning. I tell you, late start, all that good stuff. When we up in here, I'll be back tomorrow, y'all. Again, make sure you go vote. Find out where your polling place is, and get down there and do your thing. It's real. We need it. We need your vote. I'm out. I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace 100. Whatever.